कुदरती आफात से निपटने के लिए गिलगित बल्तिस्तान हुकूमत ने अपनी तैयारियां शुरू कर दी। गिलगित बल्तिस्तान डिज़ास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी के वेयर हाउस का इफ्तिताह कर दिया गया। इफ्तिताही तकरीब में जर्मनी, कनाडा और ऑस्ट्रेलिया के सफारतकारों ने भी शिरकत की। इस हवाले से देखिए वजाहत अली की ये रिपोर्ट।
Also, our partners
was key to it, and I think the evidence is clear that the government of GB has made as significant an investment as the donors, and the federal government has also provided input in terms of the machinery that we've seen outside. And I think this is a great expression of how the future for Pakistan in general is in terms of donors meeting the funding that's also being provided by federal and provincial authorities. The second reason I think it's an excellent investment is because, of course, part of the development of the HRF is transferring the knowledge and skill sets that are needed to run and operate these. So it isn't just leaving a structure, it is leaving a capacity here that moves into the future. And the third reason that I think it's an excellent investment, and in some ways this is the most important one, is because it reduces potentially the reaction time to an event by 10 days. And if you're a beneficiary who's been affected by such an event, 10 days is a lifetime. So we, from a financial point of view, to be able to get to the beneficiary as early as possible, to be able to minimize the damage impact on their well-being and on their resources, saves money in the long run. But of course, that investment is, as the previous speaker has identified, part of the story. We need further investment. As I mentioned, this is an area with 700 peaks. Getting from one part to another part is very difficult. When I mentioned there were 60 events, more than 60 events last year, they were concentrated in 3 months. So that means that in those 3 short months, you needed a lot of equipment to be able to respond to them all in a short space of time. And of course, it isn't that they go for one day and just do something for it. They're there for a few days. The second thing is in terms of the job not fully finished. Even though we now have 7 of the 8 depots in place, we're looking to fund the 8th. But more importantly, the outgoing chair of the National Development Management Authority has envisaged, which we think is a very good idea, a central hub in Islamabad, which would enable the full integration of all 8 other hubs. And while the federal government is looking for land to do this, of course, there will be need for donors to come in and help develop that. But again, I'm emphasizing this is and I'm a professional finance person, this is a worthwhile investment. It reduces costs for everybody. And the third one is one that was mentioned by a colleague from the GB Disaster Management Authority, and that is information. Information in a humanitarian situation is key. And there is need to develop some kind of knowledge management system in order to be able to be more efficient and more effective in the response. So there are 3 areas that I think donors and government can worthwhile make an investment. So I would like to compliment both the GB government and the federal government in their foresight and wisdom in investing in this. I would like to thank the donors for investing in this, but I would also like to thank the team who invested not just their labour, but their hearts in this undertaking. They achieved it in a very short space of time, and even the commercial companies that were involved in it, the personnel, and there's photographs out there to prove it, they invested their heart because, of course, this touches the lives of thousands of people, and there's nothing more rewarding in life than doing something that's going to help thousands of people. So my compliments to the team, not just the WFP people, but the DMA people, the commercial people, the donors, everybody. Congratulations to you all on a job very well done. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Certainly your address goes a long way in inspiring us to strive hard and achieve more. Now I would like to call on Rostrum, Mr. Daniel, representative of Canadian High Commissioner to Pakistan, to say a few words.
गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में कुदरती आफात से निमटने के इदारे GBDMA के अव्वलीन वेयर हाउस का इफ्तिताह वज़ीर आला गिलगित बल्तिस्तान हफीज़ुर रहमान ने किया। वेयर हाउस के लिए ज़मीन सूबाई हुकूमत ने फराहम की है, जिसकी मालियत 1.5 करोड़ रुपए है। इसके अलावा आलमी इदारा खुराक ने 300 मिलियन रुपए फराहम किए हैं।
On the stage, GBDMA, the advisor for disaster management GB, Mr. Makpoon, Colonel Tariq from NDMA, the guests sitting in front of us, Secretary Health, especially Commissioner Gilgit, rep from FCNA, very strategic and very close and aligned partner of GBDMA in all exigencies, worthy guests from different areas down the country, international arenas, and DG 1122 emergency services provider is here, and Deputy Commissioner Gilgit, head of District Disaster Management Authority here, Colonel Atif, sitting on the very front, and other guests, if I miss any name, and most of all, the chief guest of today's ceremony, Mr. Hafizur Rahman, Chief Minister Gilgit Baltistan, on behalf of Home Department, on behalf of GBDMA, and on behalf of GB government, I take this opportunity to say thanks to all of you for sparing your time, for being here, and what to talk about disasters in Gilgit Baltistan. A lot had been already said. Just remembering a couplet in Urdu for depicting the situation which we usually face here every other or third day. It is beautifully said कि जहाँ भूचाल बुनियादे फसीलो दर में रहते हैं, जहाँ भूचाल बुनियादे फसीलो दर में रहते हैं, हमारा हौसला देखो, हम ऐसे घर में रहते हैं. So, taking opportunity of being here on the rise, just want to say thanks to people of GB, Gilgit Baltistan, who are adamant to fight disasters, natural calamities. They are resilient up to that extent that despite having hundreds of various varieties of disasters and like activities every day, they are living their lives here in hard areas. The climate, the altitude, the day-to-day normal life is very difficult here. And what to talk about the unforeseen situations. So people of Gilgit Baltistan really deserve a clap, I think, from all of us. Today missing Ms. Lola Castro, former head of WFP Pakistan. Since I had opportunity of sharing the signed agreement with her a few years back in Lahore while inaugurating a similar facility over there. And till then, a good old friend, Mr. Khalid Zahir, here. And his commitment level of actually the HR involvement in disaster risk, and disaster management functions is that much that I can still recall that we have to had a inauguration of Lahore HRF facility, which was wonderfully built, but unfortunately district administration was not able to provide any access to the location. So, bear me if I misquote anything, I don't remember. So when this gentleman came there and he saw the situation, he was that much worried because only night time was there, and it was apparently looking impossible to pave the way for the dignitaries to move there. And this gentleman got typhoid over there. It made sick for 6 months at least. And this was the level, because fault was not him, the facility was quite well built. The issue was lying with the administration part, although that we still discuss sometime that how that was built. So we usually come out with the conclusion that since the cause was very noble for the welfare of the people who are in a very climatic situation, like the worthy chief minister said, Karunas Yanfon Nas. So somewhere else in the Holy Scripture it is written that when the high tides of flood they come upon the people, so at that particular time they start remembering and recalling their God from the core of their heart. So actually this disaster is a time when people are generally linked with their God or their whosoever they believe in. So at that purest level, if we are working for them, then angels come sometime and roads and paths are paved smoothly. So it is. I mean, it would be fair to not acknowledge the commitment level and the leadership which Chief Minister Gilgit actually provided for GBDMA. Since I had a few years experience of working with GBDMA and DDMA somewhere in other provinces, so it was shocking for me to know that this far-flung and remote area actually. My first interaction with the Chief Minister was in a disaster situation. In 2015 earthquake actually. We came from Lahore, Punjab, PDMA side to hand over the relief goods to the GB government. So we had a breakfast with the Chief Minister when just to share the nature of and the severity of disasters with the partners, donor partners, that since the whole road network was cut off, the breakfast was arranged for the team who was coming of 3 or 4 people, and we were astonished to see that only 4 breads were there on the table. The whole team of GB, including Chief Minister, they were not having bread. Since the people were not having bread, so they were not taking themselves. So they just managed for 4 bread for us. So in disasters, actually, situation adverses here very much. So people which government which was used to respond to the disaster situation in a pathetic way and waiting for the donors. So the leadership in the present regime, actually they made it a robust system to just fight out with the disaster, to get themselves prepared through various activities. The act of legislation which has been made here, actually I'm afraid any other provinces, the province of the country had the independent act for the purpose. Similarly, the global fund which has been discussed, the other routine funds which have been allocated for the disaster management activities by the Chief Minister. And time and again we see that how much worried he is, how much informed he is. So his leadership actually turned the whole team in a winning team, and it's not matter of only service delivery or a job official assignment for the team, but it's a cause and it's a winning team. So this facility actually, this would definitely help a lot in the long run, because it will increase the capacity of storage and along with other advantages, the few intangible advantages which it would serve. It would ensure the transparent and standardized procurement along with the standardized and fair distribution mechanism. So the donor partners once again, I'm very thankful to you, since the worthy Chief Minister has to attend an assembly session. So thank you very much, sir, for your being here, and your whole team is very much committed and thankful to your patronage for the purpose. Thank you once again to all of the members. You are requested to proceed for refreshment and visit the facility. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such wonderful closing remarks.
यह मंसूबा 2 साल की मुद्दत में मुकम्मल हुआ है, जहां 10,000 मीट्रिक टन सामान रखने की गुंजाइश मौजूद होगी। इफ्तिताई तकरीब में वज़ीर आला गिलगित बल्तिस्तान समेत 3 ममालिक के सिफारतकारों ने शिरकत की, जिनमें ऑस्ट्रेलिया, कनाडा और जर्मनी के सिफारतकार शामिल थे। तकरीब में वर्ल्ड फूड प्रोग्राम के कंट्री डायरेक्टर ने भी शिरकत की। तकरीब से खिताब करते हुए वज़ीर आला गिलगित बल्तिस्तान हाफिज़ हफीज़ुर रहमान ने कहा कि साबिक वफाकी हुकूमत ने गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में कुदरती आफात से निमटने के लिए 15 करोड़ रुपए मुख्तस किए थे। मौजूदा हुकूमत ने इन फंड्स को रोक दिया है और हम अपनी बिसात के मुताबिक GBDMA को मुस्तहकम करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। आलमी इदारे गिलगित बल्तिस्तान हुकूमत को सपोर्ट करें। इस तरह के वेयर हाउस DIAMER और बल्तिस्तान में भी बनाना चाहते हैं। उन्होंने वेयर हाउस की तामीर में माली ताउन पर आलमी इदारा खुराक का शुक्रिया अदा किया। तकरीब से आलमी इदारा खुराक के कंट्री डायरेक्टर ने भी खिताब किया। इस मौके पर आलमी इदारा खुराक की जानिब से GBDMA को दिया गया इमदादी सामान गिलगित बल्तिस्तान हुकूमत के हवाले किया गया, जिसमें खुराक और दीगर अशिया ज़रूरिया शामिल हैं। कैमरामैन मुजाहिद हुसैन के साथ वजाहत अली, WTV गिलगित।
food program. Mr. Mariha Afzal, Communication Officer, World Food Program. Ms. Elizabeth Spencer, Head of Partnership World Food Program. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to call Special Coordinator for Disaster Management, Mr. Shahzada Mahmood, to further distribute